Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely demystify the science of IV hydration and NAD+ therapy. We're using some fascinating clinical protocols from Prime IV Hydration and Wellness to really break down exactly how our bodies absorb nutrients. We want to see what proactive wellness actually looks like at the cellular level, so let's just dive right in.
Why is it that so many of us can get a full 8 hours of sleep, carry around one of those giant water bottles literally everywhere we go, and yet we still feel chronically fatigued or just clouded by brain fog? It is incredibly frustrating to put in all that work and just not feel the vitality you expect. But, as our sources explain, the issue usually isn't a lack of effort on your part. Actually, it's a lack of absorption.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. The dehydration problem. 2. Oral versus IV absorption. 3. The power of NAD+. 4. The benefits across the decades. And finally, 5. What the inside of the clinic experience actually looks like.
All right, starting off with Section 1, the chronic dehydration problem.
So when you drink a glass of water, your body doesn't just pass it around evenly. It actually plays favorites. There is this biological fluid hierarchy, meaning your body allocates water to the life-sustaining organs first. We're talking your brain, your heart, your lungs. By the time that hydration works its way down the priority list, your skin and extremities are essentially left high and dry. So yeah, you can chug water all day long and still suffer the physical effects of chronic dehydration. Crazy, right?
Which brings us to Section 2, oral versus IV absorption.
I want you to think of your digestive system like a brutal biological obstacle course. When you swallow a vitamin or supplement, it has to survive highly acidic stomach acid, fight through these thick intestinal walls, and then hit the liver for what's called hepatic first-pass metabolism. That process literally degrades a massive percentage of what you just took. Contrast that with intravenous or IV therapy. It completely bypasses the gastrointestinal tract, dropping those nutrients directly into your circulatory system. No obstacle course required.
The numbers here really paint the picture. Regular water and sports drinks, they sit at a mere 20 to 50% absorption rate, and it can take up to an hour for them to even kick in. Oral vitamin supplements are somehow even lower, hitting around 10 to 40%. But then you look at standard IV hydration and advanced IV drips using Niagen. Both of those boast a 100% absorption rate, and the time to effect is immediate. It really all comes down to that one single metric, 100%. Because IV delivery completely skips the stomach and the liver, it achieves absolute bioavailability. Every single drop is instantly accessible to your thirsty cells. And for anyone suffering from deep exhaustion, that means an immediate physiological baseline reset. It's a total game changer.
Let's move right into Section 3, the power of NAD+. Okay, so NAD+ stands for nicotinamide adenidine dinucleotide. Now, I know that sounds super complex, but let's break it down. Imagine your cell's mitochondria are these little power plants, and they're generating ATP energy. You need that energy for literally everything, from muscle contraction to basic brain function. Well, NAD+ is basically the fleet of delivery trucks keeping those power plants running. Without enough of those delivery trucks, your cellular power plants just stall out. They cannot produce the energy you need to function optimally.
But here is the problem. Our fleet of NAD+ delivery trucks naturally depletes over time. Chronological aging obviously plays a massive part. By the time you hit middle age, your reserves often drop by half. But wait, it gets worse. This shortage is aggressively accelerated by things we do all the time: intense physical training, a few too many drinks, overeating, and chronic sleep disruption. This invisible biological shortage is exactly what outwardly manifests as that persistent fatigue and physical aging we're constantly trying to fight off.
And this leads us to the clinical solution presented in our sources, which is something called Niagen. So Niagen is a patented form of nicotinamide riboside, basically a highly specialized derivative of vitamin B3. It acts as a super efficient precursor to NAD+. When you introduce this to the body via an IV, it safely bypasses all those metabolic bottlenecks we talked about earlier. It rapidly converts into usable NAD+, which restores your cellular energy and actually brings back that crisp cognitive clarity.
All right, Section 4, benefits across the decades.
There's a really common misconception out there that IV therapy is just for elite young athletes or, recovering from a bad hangover. But our sources map out a highly tailored approach depending on where you are in life. In your 20s and 30s, the protocols focus on maximizing your energy output and exercise recovery. Then, transitioning into your 40s and 50s, the formulations actually shift to support stress management, immune fortification, and combating early aging. And by the time you're in your 60s and 70s, it becomes an incredible tool for joint lubrication, reducing inflammation, and just safely boosting your daily vitality.
Now let's talk about skin. Human skin is composed of approximately 64% water. Remember that biological hierarchy we discussed a few minutes ago? Because exterior tissue gets water last when you drink it, your skin is almost always the first thing to suffer. While expensive topical creams struggle to even penetrate the epidermis, IV therapy immediately saturates your cells from the inside out. It hydrates those deep dermal layers far more effectively than an external moisturizer ever could.
To hit all these different goals, clinics use specific targeted formulations. Dealing with heavy muscle fatigue and lactic acid buildup after a hard workout? Well, drips loaded with magnesium and B-complex actively reduce cramping and repair that tissue. Or maybe you need to fight off some nasty seasonal viruses going around? They can flood the system with high-dose vitamin C and zinc to basically build an instant defensive barrier for your immune system.
Moving on to our final section, Section 5, Inside the Clinic Experience.
If you're wondering what this actually looks like, the process outlined by Prime IV heavily prioritizes medical safety and comfort, and it happens in 3 simple steps. Step 1, a comprehensive health consultation, where real medical professionals review your history and check your vitals. Step 2, the selection of your custom drip. And then, Step 3, the administration. You're basically chilling in a premium massage chair for under an hour. There is zero downtime. You can read a book, catch up on emails, or just take a nap, and then jump right back into your day.
Our sources do a beautiful job of contextualizing all this by looking at their specific location in Wall Township, New Jersey. It really proves that your environment dictates your health needs. Local residents use these therapies to fight off the suffocating, humid heat of Jersey Shore summers, the harsh dryness of the winters, and honestly, just the continuous drain of those intense Monmouth County commutes. Ultimately, it's about giving your body what it needs to thrive in your specific environment, rather than just slowly succumbing to burnout.
I want to share this quote from our sources because it just perfectly summarizes everything we've explored today. It says, "By prioritizing clinical safety and deep nutritional absorption, intravenous therapy stands out as one of the most effective tools in modern preventative health." And they hit the nail on the head. It fundamentally changes the game of health management by simply bypassing the biological roadblocks of the gut and directly giving the body exactly what it needs.
We've seen how our own digestive systems can limit us, how vital molecules like NAD+ just fade away, and how advanced delivery systems offer a literal 100% absorption solution. So think about it. If your cells truly are the engine of your life, the things driving your energy, your immunity, your mental clarity, isn't it time we completely rethink how we fuel them? I really hope this explainer empowered you with a deeper understanding of your own cellular health. Keep learning, keep asking those big questions, and we'll see you in the next explainer.